Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, let me introduce my group. My name is Cynthia Septinaria and my partner Vio Windaru Widya Astuti. In this video, we will present about identifying objectives. Okay, I will explain about the first material. I will explain about instructional objectives, learning objectives, and why is it important to set objectives. Okay, first is the definition of instructional objectives. According to Kibler and friends in 1974, an instructional objective is a statement that describes what student will be able to do after completing the instruction. Instructional objectives are measurable, short-term, specific, and observable students' behavior. The instructional objective indicates the desirable of knowledge, skills, and attitudes to be gained. An instructional objective is the focal point of a lesson plan. An instructional objective is a foundation which you can build the lessons, assessment, and instruction, as well as that you can prove to meet in the overall course or the lessons of the goals. And the purpose of instructional objective is not restrict spontaneity or constrain the vision of education in the discipline, but to ensure that the learning is focused clearly enough but student and teacher know what is going on, and so the learning can objectively measure. Measurable objectives can enable teacher to determine and observe how well students have reached the goal of the lessons or of the course. Okay, next is the definition of learning objectives. Many people still confused about the definition of objectives and goals. What is the difference of them? Okay. The best way to use goals as the roadmaps of course material is to make it more clear and concise by determining the specific learning objectives. Writing learning objectives can make the teacher to focus on the student or on the goals and help the teacher to planning the course. And from the student's point of view, learning objectives can make them to know or understand about what the teacher or the instructor expect of them and what they must expect of themselves. Okay, next is the difference between goals and objectives. Yeah, many people still confused about the definition of goals and objectives and often confused about the terms. Okay, goals is long term, achievable, and broad, but not necessarily measurable, while the objective is the specific, measurable, short term, and observable the student's behavior. On the other hand, objective is also referred to the learning outcomes because the objective is immediately linked into the expected outcomes, and then the what the student can do learning after learning all the course or by the end of the course. Okay, there are 4 points that can make us understand about the difference between goal and the objectives. There are the express and represent, describe, and convey. Okay, for the express, the goals is express your hopes and values regarding the overall objectives or educational experience, while from the objectives express about your choices on learning strategies for the learning strategies, lessons material, and then learning activities or instructional activities. And second is represent, Goals is represent your perspective on the course or describing what the course will do, what the student will do in the course. And then for the for the objective represent what your learners will be capable by the end of the course, what the learner have to what the learner can be able to do after the end of the course. And next is describe. Goal describe the long-term aims or long-term purpose that are not directly measurable, while objective is describe the assessment, the questions, and then assignments which you can evaluate the learners. And last is convey. And for the goals, the convey is the kinds of the experience that you want to create for your students, while the objectives convey what are the standard and then the expectation of the course, what the expectation, what you can expect the student can be able to do by the end of the course. Okay, the last is about why is it important to set objectives. Okay, setting objective is important because many reasons, and in here I will explain about 4 main reasons. First is you can adequately organize the course material because you can establish the logical sequence of the learning milestones. And next, you can immediately align the objectives with the evaluation methods. And third, you can communicate with your students and help the students to evaluate themselves. And finally, the learners can interconnect the goals through your courses. Okay, and the objectives tell the students how they can know, learn, and understand about the lesson. Okay, I think enough for my explanation. And next explanation is Vio. Vio will explain about the next material.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Vio Windaru Widyastuti, and I will to continue explanation by Cynthia Septinaria about learning objective. Okay, my subject is designing your course using learning objective. Okay, there are 6 steps to connect your idea with your imagine to student. First, imagine your course. List the thing will be taught to the student in a paper or book, so we don't forget easily. And for example, we teach about reading, writing, grammar, listening, speaking, and others. Okay, second, draft your course goal. Write down about your course in the goal. And for example, we teach students about the read, and we imagine that the goal is students are able to read correctly, fluently, and according to punctuation. And another example is, in this course, I emphasize that students must be disciplined in learning and complete their assignment and easily understand the assignment and can do assignment independently. Okay, third. Okay, design learning objective. Describe the design of learning objectives that are more specific and sequential. First, consider for whom are you writing your learning objective. Analyze your target audience and their pre-existing knowledge. Continue. Keep overall course objective to more than a dozen. This will keep you focused on the essential. And continue. Don't exaggerate trying to write even more precise learning objective. The main point is to express as clearly and plainly as possible. And for example, the goal is I'm at junior high school student to be able to write in English properly, so we as educator must focus on the main goal so that it can be achieved. 4. Write the activities. For each objective of the course, write down some corresponding activities that you are planning to use to accomplish the objective. Through student in activities, students will achieve the objective you set for them. And other activities not mentioned above are first, reading text, reading workout example problem, answering short objective question, discussing issues with other learners, and finally conducting research. Okay, 5. Develop assessment. Decide which question you will include in your questionnaire or exam, or the content of your assessment based on the objective you have set. Like your assessment activities with your objective. This way you can be sure that your learner have a desired progress. Okay, the finally is the reflect. Reflect is an evaluation of your design course using learning objective. Whether it is in accordance with the objective to be achieved by students must be reconsidered or changed again. The form of reflection is as follows. Are your course objectives achievable given the available resources? Second, are your course objectives in agreement with the course goal? And the 3, can learners' performance on the objective be measured? And finally, are there real measure that rate number, percentage or frequency? Okay, continue. The purpose of learning objective. Facilitate overall course development by encouraging goal-directed planning. For example, starting from facilitate an infrastructure, the material be taught, and the ability instructor in explaining the learner material so that its objectives are achieved. Continue. Inform student a standard and expectation of course. Third, provide information for the development of assessment by identifying the types of evidence that students need to produce to demonstrate understanding. 4. Clarify the intents instruction and guide the information of instruction activities such as textbook selection, teaching resources, instructional method, and etc. Provide a framework for evaluating student understanding and progress, and continue serve as an implicit contract between instructor and student, setting up a basis for accountability. Continue, drive curriculum planning, and the next, create the framework for evaluating overall effectiveness of an educational program, and continue, or finally, provide evidence of student learning to be utilized for accreditation. And for example, in the last semester we have we get a report. Okay, thank you. That is my explanation. Thank you for attention. I apologize if I have any mistake. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.